Today here we are going to discuss your second chapter in Access. On the screen you can read the name of the chapter, that is chapter 2, Motions of the Earth. Students, this is the first part of this chapter, so after watching this don't forget to watch part 2. So let us start with the chapter. I hope that you have played with the so many toys. Out of those toys, some toys were spinning on their axes, or we can say they were spinning on some points. Like for example, there is a top which you have played with. So it was spinning on a particular point. Like here, if we draw a line, so we can say that this top is moving, this spinning or rotating on this line. This is the imaginary line, so we can say that, okay, this is the axis of this top, so this top is rotating on this particular axis. In the same way, you may have enjoyed the ride of the Ferris wheel like this. So here also this wheel also rotates on an axis. Here you can see this axis. So all these spinning toys have the axis on which they spins. In the same manner, Earth also spins or rotates on a particular point which we call the axis of the Earth. On the screen here you can see this is an imaginary line on which the Earth is rotating. This is the imaginary line, that it is not actual line. It does not exist on the earth. It is just an imaginary line on which earth rotates from west to east. So what can be the definition of the axis? Here, an imaginary line passing through the center of the earth is called axis. So this definition is very important. You have to learn this definition. So what is the definition of axis? An imaginary line passing through the center of the earth is called axis, and on the axis earth rotates. There is not only the earth which rotates or revolves. All the celestial bodies means they are also called the heavenly bodies, which means everything which you can see in the sky, like a satellite, planet, stars, meteoroids, all these collectively called the celestial bodies. All these rotates on their axis and also revolves around the sun. So there is not only earth in the sky which rotates, all the celestial bodies rotates on their axis and also revolves around the sun. Like moon rotates and revolves around the earth while earth revolves around the sun. Now there are two motions, rotation and revolution. Let's see what is the difference between the rotation and the revolution. Here you can see the earth is rotating on its axis. So I hope you can see clearly this area. Here this area is lightened with the sunlight, while this is a darker area, so you can automatically understand in this area there is a night. This area is a there is a night, and in this area there is a day because this area is facing the sun. So this is a rotation, so rotation causes day and night. This is the revolution. We also know that sun not only rotates but also revolves around the sun. On the screen you can see the earth is rotating on its axis as well as it is revolving around the sun. It is moving around the sun on a fixed path that we will discuss in the further slide. So look at earth carefully. You can see the darker area and the lighter area. Look at it carefully again. These light areas are having day while dark areas are having night. Watch it carefully. I hope you have understood now how the day and night changes. Rotation. Earth rotates at the speed of 1670 km per hour at its equator. Now, equator that you already know, it is a central line which is passing through the earth and it divides. If this is a globe, it is passes from the center of the earth and divides the earth into two hemispheres that we had discussed in the grade 6. So along with this equator, the speed of the earth's rotation is 1670 km per hour, and at this speed it takes 24 hours to finish one rotation. Means this combines the day and night both. So let's understand the rotation with the help of this video.
Is the movement of the Earth on its own axis. Rotate means to turn, so the Earth turns around a slightly inclined imaginary line that joins the two poles called the axis. Do you know how long it takes to make a complete turn? It takes 24 hours to make one rotation. Think about it for a second. One day and night together, lasts 24 hours too. So the movement of rotation causes day and night.
Now this is how day and night changes. Now let us have a look on the revolution, how the revolution take place.
Movement of revolution. As you can see in the pictures, the Earth goes around the Sun in an elliptical orbit. That might sound a little strange, but if you look, you'll see it's simply the journey that the Earth makes around the Sun. Do you know how long it takes the Earth to make a complete revolution around the Sun? Well, it takes 365 days. Exactly one.
Earth takes 365 days to complete one revolution, and this time period is called a year, and it revolves around the sun at speed of approximately 1780 km per hour. The earth moves constantly on the fixed imaginary path called the orbit. In the previous video that you have seen, in which the path had shown, that path is called orbit, and it is not a circular, but the shape of that path is elliptical or the oval shape. Like this is a circle, while this shape, this is the elliptical shape, or we can call it is a oval. So when, if the sun is here, so when earth is here, it is near to the sun, but when the earth is here or here, so it is far away from the sun. So due to this shape of the orbit, the distance between the earth and sun keeps changing. The moon revolves around the earth and the earth revolves around the sun. Let's see how this happens. So I hope from this video you have understood how the moon revolves around the earth and moon both revolves around the sun at the same time. The earth makes an angle of 23.5 degree to its axis and 66.5 degree to its orbit. Here on this image you can see this is the orbit, this is the axis, and this is the 90-degree angle. This is the perpendicular. This is the perpendicular to the orbit. Now here you can see this axis makes the degree of 23.5 to the perpendicular angle. So our earth is tilted at 23.5 degree on its axis while it makes, okay, one more thing. Can you tell me what is the angle here? What angle will it make here? This, obviously it is a right angle, so it is a 90. If this is 23.5 degree, then this remaining will be 90 minus 23.5, which will be automatically 66.5 degree. So here we can see that the axis, at the axis it makes the angle of 23.5, while on the orbit it makes the degree angle at the 66.5 degree. I hope you have understood this sentence. The tilting of the earth on its axis causes the varying length of the day and the night also change in the season. As we have understood now, the earth is tilted at the 23.5 degree. Now this results into the varying length of the days and night. Throughout the different months, the length of the day and night keeps on changing. There, throughout 365 days, all days or all nights are not equal like 12 hours. It varies according to the angle. Now let's see how this happens. Here on this image you can see, here the light falls at the 90-degree angle. Here the sunlight falls at the 46.5 degree. Here 23.5 degree. So here you can see this area. This area is towards the sun, and here where the light falls on 23.5 degree, there the day will be of 24 hours, while here the day will be of 20, 13 hours and 17 minutes. Here all you can see, here the day will be of 12 hours, here the day will be of 10 hours, and even here in this area there will be day of 0 hours. Here you can see it is the outside of the sunlight, so even when the earth will spin it will remain outside, while this north pole will be continuously in the sunlight, so it will have the 24 hours of the daylight, while in the south pole there will be no sunlight, so there will be night throughout 24 hours. It will not receive any sunlight. I hope here you have understood this. This we will further discuss in the next video. Here are few exercise question for you. The two motions of the earth, definition of axis, what will happen if, this is if earth does not rotates on its axis, what is the speed of rotation of earth, how much time earth takes to complete one rotation, then diagram, draw a diagram 2.3. This diagram you have to draw. Then there is one activity. Take a globe and a torch. Shut the doors and windows of the classroom here at your home of your room so that there is a darkness. Illuminate the globe with the torch, and the part which is lit signifies the day while the dark half signifies the nights. So this activity you have to do at your home, and while you are doing this activity take photos and videos and share with me. I hope you have understood till here. If you have any query or doubt you can contact me. This is the activity which you have to do. Thank you.